Listen. This is the sound of destruction. This is the noise of devastation. And this is the story of the world's most dangerous rivalry. On one side, the world's most powerful superpower, America. Aircraft carriers, nuclear weapons, trillions of dollars in military budget. On the other side, the Middle East's defiant power, Iran, revolutionary guards, ballistic missiles, and proxy armies across the entire region. Two nations, two ideologies, two systems, and a war that has been raging for 4 decades. This war is not just on battlefields. It exists in cyberspace, in economic sanctions, in proxy wars, and in the nuclear race. This conflict has devastated millions of people, destroyed economies, set the entire Middle East on fire, and brought the world dangerously close to World War III. The question is, how did this enmity begin? Who is responsible? And what will be the outcome? Get ready, because today we will explore Iran versus America, the complete story of the world's most dangerous conflict. 1953, Iran. The streets of Tehran are celebrating. Why? Because America has supported Iran's Shah. Yes, there was a time when Iran and America were friends. Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi was America's biggest ally in the Middle East. American companies received oil contracts. Military equipment poured in. The Shah received unlimited support. But below, on the ground, ordinary Iranians were suffering. The Shah's government was dictatorial. The secret police Savak committed torture and killings. The rich got richer, the poor got poorer. Western culture was being forcibly imposed. The people were angry. Religious leaders were angry. And the most furious of all was Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, 1979, the Islamic Revolution. The world changed. Millions of people took to the streets. They toppled the Shah's statue. They burned American flags, and the Shah had to flee forever. Ayatollah Khomeini returned from France, and he declared the Islamic Republic. America was shocked. Their biggest friend had become their biggest enemy. But the real drama was yet to come. November 4th, 1979. Attack on the American embassy in Tehran. Iranian students took 52 Americans hostage. 444 days. For a full 444 days, they held Americans captive. Every day on American TV, the show America Held Hostage aired. President Jimmy Carter's reputation was destroyed. The rescue mission failed. Helicopters crashed. American soldiers died. This humiliation, America never forgot. And Iran never apologized. This is where the 4-decade enmity began. This is where the world's longest, most dangerous Cold War started. 1980. Saddam Hussein's Iraq attacks Iran. An 8-year brutal war begins. And America quietly supports Saddam. Chemical weapons, intelligence, satellite images, money. America gave everything to Iraq. Why? Because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. In this war, 1 million people died. 1 million. Children, youth, elderly. Entire cities were destroyed. Millions were injured by chemical weapons. Iran was fighting alone. The world had abandoned them. Weapons weren't available. Parts weren't available. But the Iranians didn't give up. In 1988, the war ended. Nobody won. Both countries were devastated. But Iran learned one lesson. We must build our own strength. We cannot depend on anyone. This is where Iran's nuclear ambitions began. In the 1990s, America began isolating Iran. They imposed sanctions. They blocked companies. They pressured banks. Iran's economy declined. Oil wasn't selling. Technology wasn't available. Even medicines weren't available. But Iran continued its nuclear program. Quietly underground, they built secret facilities. They installed centrifuges. They started uranium enrichment. And by the time the world found out, it was too late. 2002. George Bush called Iran part of the axis of evil, along with North Korea and Iraq. This was a direct threat. Iran understood they were the next target, so they accelerated their nuclear program even more. From 2006 to 2015, international pressure increased. The UN Security Council imposed sanctions. The European Union imposed sanctions. America imposed the harshest sanctions. Iran's economy began to collapse. Currency plummeted. Inflation skyrocketed. Unemployment surged. People were protesting in the streets. But Iran didn't abandon its nuclear program. What? Because they believed nuclear weapons were their only guarantee. Look at Libya. Gaddafi gave up his nuclear program. So what happened? NATO attacked. They killed Gaddafi. Look at Iraq. Saddam had no nuclear weapons. America invaded. They killed Saddam. But look at North Korea. They have nuclear weapons. Nobody can touch them. Iran had learned this lesson. 2013. Hassan Rouhani became president. A moderate leader. He extended a hand for dialogue. In America, Barack Obama believed solutions should come through diplomacy. And then, long negotiations began. 2015. Vienna. A historic moment. The Iran nuclear deal was signed. JCPOA Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. Iran agreed to limit their nuclear program. Give IAE inspectors access. Not produce weapons-grade uranium. In exchange, the world lifted sanctions. Permission to sell oil was granted. The banking system opened up. The Iranian economy came back to life. It seemed peace had arrived. It seemed the war was over. But this peace lasted only 2 years. 2016. Donald Trump became America's president. He said this deal was terrible. Iran got too many benefits. America got nothing. Israel and Saudi Arabia were also against this deal. They pressured Trump, and then in 2018, Trump made a major decision. America withdrew from the deal. The world was shocked. European countries objected. Russia objected. China objected. But Trump didn't listen. He reimposed the harshest sanctions. The maximum pressure campaign began. Iran's oil exports were reduced to zero. The banking system was shut down again. Iranian currency collapsed. Inflation exceeded 100%. Iranian people were suffering again. And Iran also began breaking the nuclear deal restrictions. They increased uranium enrichment up to 60%. Just one step away from weapons grade. They built more underground facilities. They advanced their missiles. And most importantly, Iran made their proxy strategy even more aggressive. Understand what proxy war means. Iran doesn't fight America directly. Why? Because in a direct war, Iran would lose. America is far more powerful. So Iran created a different Conflicts, they're a strategy. Iran's goal is to push America out of the Middle East, weaken Israel, and expand their own influence. And this strategy is working. Now, let's talk about direct confrontation. January 3rd, 2020, Baghdad Airport. American drone strike. The target was Major General Qasem Soleimani, commander of Iran's Revolutionary Guards, mastermind of proxy wars, one of the world's most dangerous men, and America killed him. Iran went into mourning. Millions of people took to the streets. Soleimani was their hero. Supreme Leader Khamenei swore they would take revenge. And on January 8th, Iran responded. Ballistic missiles on American bases in Iraq. Loset Air Base, Erbil Base. They fired multiple missiles. 110 American soldiers were injured. This was the first time Iran had directly attacked America. The world held its breath. Would direct war begin now? But then both sides stepped back. Trump said there were no casualties, we won't escalate. Iran said we've taken our revenge. But this was only a temporary ceasefire. Attacks continued. American bases in Iraq and Syria kept being hit. Iranian-backed groups took credit. 2021, Joe Biden became president. He said we want to make a nuclear deal with Iran again. Negotiations began. Rounds were held in Vienna, but no agreement was reached. Why? Because now trust was completely gone. Iran said, first America must lift sanctions. Then we'll talk. America said first Iran must limit its nuclear program, then we'll lift sanctions. And the world remained stuck in this deadlock. October 2023, Hamas attacked Israel. 1,200 people died. They took hostages. Israel began massive bombing of Gaza. Thousands died. Millions were displaced. And tension increased.